welcome to the channel. My name is Karsh the Goblin. Oops, let's put that down a little bit. Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Karsh the Goblin. This is the Goblin Cave, and we are back with our 8th episode of the Blades of Waterdeep. And I might be a little bit quieter today. I'm actually having to raise my voice quite a bit. I'm live mic, having a little bit of issues with the mixing program, but at least everything is working in theory, and we don't have the massive issue we had last week with the feedback that we had. So we're here today with all our cast, but we do have a new cast member, and we'll get to them in a moment. We'll do our shout outs first, and then we'll do our introductions, and then we'll get a little bit brief what's been happening and move into the campaign. So shout out to Syrinscape. Though they're not a sponsor, please can you sponsor us, please? They do all our sound and music, and they have an amazing Waterdeep Dragon Heist sound set, which is what we generally use for this entire campaign. They also have a lot of other bits and pieces which we use for other campaigns, and it's really good, like just for your offline and online role-playing needs. Anything from Call of Cthulhu, Pathfinder, D&D, sci-fi, they've got everything. So go check them out at syrinscape.com. Reminder that we've got little numbers above us up here, just up there. If you donate donate $5 with hashtag the color or the player's name or the character's name, I'll take all that. And I'll put a number there. That character or that cast member can use a chat dice, which is a D10 whenever they need to use it, whenever they want to use it. If you want to be mean, you can always do the same thing from me, but it costs you $10. It costs you double the amount to be mean, because we should be promoting niceness in society, and that's what I'm trying to, although still have the option of mean. So we'll also just shout out to Frogget Chair, who does the tokens and the artwork for the channel. Didn't do the Goblin here, but did all the tokens for this show, and was able to do a very, very last minute token, which I'm just shocked she was able to do it. You can check her out. She's also she's Frogget Chair on Twitter. You can check her out as Peach in the Rusty Daggers show later in the week. And I think that's all our shout outs. So let's get to our introductions. Bozo?
Hey, I'm Bozo, and I'm playing Castle, the Human Warlock.
And Treant?
I'm Treant Monk, and I am playing Lucky, the Trickery Halfling. Trickery Cleric Halfling.
Who still doesn't know he's a cleric, but getting there. Ursame?
Hi, I'm Ursa May, and I'm playing Belladoc Buckless, the Arcane Trickster Rogue.
I just noticed those gloves.
And Halfley. My hands are cold.
I'm having the opposite. I can't use the fan today because of the live mic. Damn. And finally, our newest member, Nick.
Hello, I'm Nick. I will be playing a human druid named Dandelion. Pronouns they, them.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting. Last we left off our group, so Nick, just to make sure everyone understands, Nick actually has played Waterdeep almost up until where we are now, where you've only missed a tiny... Essentially, last episode is the only thing that Nick missed in their role-playing game. So they've pretty much watched what we've done. We've filled them in, and we're just going to keep moving on. Although we're in summer, Nick was in winter, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, I was.
So, and we also have the very differences of like no weapons and no armor. That's probably the biggest one. Thankfully, you were playing a druid and not a fighter in that campaign, because that would have been a bigger jump. Much bigger jump. So I'm always leaning down, sorry about that. So where we left off last week was back at the Trollskull Manor, with, in the middle of the night, Bella was woken up. Oh yes, Trent, you're too tall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Halfling Cam. There we go.
There we go.
There.
There we go. Thank you, Bozo.
We know the loud
Thank you.
tall people here.
Yep.
Yep. So if you don't understand, Trent's quite tall, and so every episode he just adjusts. So last episode we left off with Bella having a midnight visitor at the tavern, or the manor house's study room. I think the first time anyone's really been into the study. They've just left it. Yeah, by a shadowy visitor who just asked her politely to replace the stack of papers that are on the desk with essentially on someone else's desk. A broadsheet, a newspaper reporter, essentially. And the newspaper is called the Waterdeep Wazoo, and you've been asked to do that tomorrow night. And then the shadowy figure just disappears out the window, as if it is a shadow. And that's pretty much where we left off, because I really had to run out. So what's Bella going to be doing for this tonight?
Probably kind of look at those papers to see what's on them.
I totally expected this. Okay, so the papers themselves look like a fully fledged written article, and it actually goes through it goes through reports of the Gronhold Manor and the Gronhold family, and talks about the incidents that happened at the Gronhold Manor in a way where the Gronholds were working with the people that attacked them and people that killed them. It also mentions several times throughout the article that the Gronholds worship and are in allegiance with the devil or demons.
Oh boy.
So pretty explosive allegations in this report.
Yeah.
And that's what you've been asked to essentially replace the current report that's going to be on the desk tomorrow night with. So this gets printed instead.
Alrighty. I'm going to keep those papers on me. So, nobody will find them. Especially our guest.
Yes. You would say that your guest being a member of the Black Network and the allegations that the Grunholds were working with the Black Network. And even it says that they are funding the Black Network, and there's an allegation that they funded the Black Network's kidnap of a noble recently. They don't mention it, but they do say the noble with a very with a very prominent father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, where I'm going to have to take this? Where is that? Like at in the city? Like what ward?
It's actually North Ward.
Okay.
So we'll do the loading ups and whatnot, because it always takes time. I've had this actually here for a while, but it's always been on the GM's layer. I've been waiting to do this. It's not that far from Trollskull Manor, and not that far from the Growhold Villa.
Alrighty. Well, at least I won't have to go far to do that.
That's it. Go to there and go. Ding. There we go. So it's not that far from the Trollskull Manor at all.
No, it's not. Alrighty. I'm going to go back to bed.
And the night passes. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. In the morning, there's something a bit different about the house. There's a note. there's a note on the front, sorry, on the front door, which is essentially just slipped under the front door, actually. And you don't really realize it, but when you pick up you just pick up the note. I'm sure everyone gets up and they have their breakfast and their drinks if they're still drinking. And you've now got food in the house. You've now got, I know, because you're beginning to be a tavern. You're starting to get food. You're starting to get supplies. You're starting to eat your own food and eating your own supplies. Maybe even drinking your own supplies. But as you're having breakfast, who would have picked up the note? Who would have been the curious one?
I'm guessing Castle.
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Okay, so you pick up the note, and over breakfast you're starting to read, and it's like, it's a letter as a thank you letter to the party, to the group, for their assistance, for their help, finding them on the streets and taking them in, and they have gone home to their wife and family, and wish you all the best. Signed, Hal.
Oh.
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 As no one realised that they walked right past the front door without Hal sleeping on the steps. So...
But here's the important question, and I think everyone's thinking the exact same thing. Did Hal take Leo?
Yes.
No halflings riding a dog.
No!
Leo, we're gonna miss you. And Hal.
And so the morning's pretty uneventful. Later, so the morning is the breakfast is uneventful, but later on in the breakfast, an old friend or an old associate of yours comes in and knocks on the front door. Essentially, it's Jacob Price from the Greybeards. And he's got some work for you.
Okay.
You don't want to know what the work is?
I was going to say, what kind of...
Nope. Whatever it is, we're going to do it.
What kind of work, Jacob?
Yeah, what he said.
Well, you see, there's... I know we haven't been as active around for the last few weeks as we usually would, and there's actually a reason for that. One of our members, a prominent member at that, he's been acting a bit strange, and his happy-go-lucky demeanour has been soured. We can't figure out what it is, but at the same time, we have lost some of ourselves. So we are thinking the two may be linked, but we're fortunate that you are new to the organisation, and may have not been known to this person, if that makes sense. So
you're saying somebody's not happy who used to be happy?
We think it's more than that. More of a personality shift than just a unhappiness or sadness or a loss. Thankfully, you're new to the organisation, and they probably won't know you because you are quite new.
So you want to make us to make him like he used to be?
No, I want you to see if you can just look into the matter. Do not engage with this person, and do not, and he does stress, do not get into a fight with this person.
Okay.
What is the name of this individual?
Maloon War Dragon. And if you want to do a history check,
Yeah, I'll
if
do
someone's
that.
got it,
I do not.
or an Arcana check as well, is also relevant.
Oh,
I'm on the wrong screen. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't think of it.
No, you can. This is how we work when we do things like this.
Oh, yeah.
So, Maloon War Dragon, you get 2 pieces of information when you fumble a knowledge check. So, Maloon War Dragon, he's either the keeper of the famous Azure Edge, which is a sentient intelligent weapon, or Maloon War Dragon is famous for going down into Undermountain. So, is famous for going down into Undermountain and coming back up with Azure Edge, the famous sentient weapon, or Maloon War Dragon is famous for going into Undermountain and coming back with a dragon blade. As in a blade made of dragon talons.
Okay.
So, and this is before the whole closure of Undermountain, before everything. But both ideas. Do you remember there was something there, and there was something about him being quite famous for going down into Undermountain. Jacob also says that when I said don't mess with him, please don't get into a fight with him. He was a part of the city guard many years ago, and we believe that through research and belief and investigation, we believe that his patrol was sent through the Blue Alley and disappeared. The Blue Alley being one of the portals to Undermountain. 3 years later, he came out of the Yawning Portal, the only survivor of that group. No longer with the guard, but he's been working for us for many years now. He's always had the city's.
and he used to be very good, and now he's very sad about something, and we need to find out what he's sad about.
Yes.
But we're not supposed to make him feel better. We're just supposed to let you know what it is.
Don't get too close if you can. If he tries to attack you, run.
Okay. And if I have a chance to make him feel better, I won't. Honest.
Wait, do you have Tasha's hideous laughter?
No.
Good.
No, I don't.
I was just thinking that's exactly what you're going to do. Now, for this matter, we've already got someone investigating our newest member who doesn't have a cell, and they'll be along later today if you want to wait around here if you don't have other plans. Yeah, we trust them. They've been away for a little bit, but they're back in the city. They were, again, part of the guard like everybody else. And they might be able to help with your skill set.
What's their name?
They go by Dandelion at the moment.
Dandelion. I like that. Okay.
So they should be. They know the location here, and they should be arriving today, depending on if they've got other things going on. Yeah, they should be coming today, and they know the plan.
Okay.
So
Alrighty
again,
then.
I guess we're just gonna have to hang around and take it easy today. Well,
you'll
what
find,
can you do?
you'll find Maloon. He resides in the Broken Lance, a tavern in Seaward.
Oh, a tavern, you say?
Yes.
Everything's kind of coming up lucky.
So the tavern in Seaward is actually at the bottom of Feather Street, and the junction of Feather Street, Suther Lane, and Darsaloon Lane. Yeah, and Holtover Street. Yep. It's also known for mercenaries.
Take care of it.
And so are you going to go out, or are you going to just wait?
No, I think Lucky's thinking the way this day is turning out, which is lucky, is he's just going to hang out and eat and drink all day until this person shows up, and then they're going to go to a pub. And that is how the day is looking.
Castle has some errands to run.
Yep.
So I'm going to head out for the day. For a couple hours. I'm not going to be out for the day because
and Castle's leaving too for a couple hours.
Yeah, I have some business to take care of with selling my previous abode.
Yes.
This is just about the way I was hoping the day would turn out.
If you do mention it, your board at the moment can say, "Well, I can help with that. I do have contacts."
I think I can handle it, but I'll let you know if I need any help.
You can get the best price in the city.
I have faith in my abilities.
Okay, well, if you have any problems with the bureaucracy, just we know who to call.
Appreciate
You
it.
can stay and drink with us if you like.
As a hint, there's always going to be red tape.
Yeah. What's our new companion's name again? Not Nick Nack's character, but the Black Network person we met.
Oh, I have it in the character journal, I think.
Yep.
Ooh.
It's probably quite quicker to go to the character journal than for me to find it offhand.
Oh, maybe I don't. I thought I
please
did.
have it. Don't have to find it offhand.
If not, it's not a big deal. I was just wondering.
Okay, loose ends. Well, Istrid Horn is her name, but going by...
Jord.
I can't remember. I'd have to find it.
I just see Jord, house guest, and maybe actually someone else who helps run the Black
No,
Network.
that's Jord. That sounds
Okay.
right.
Yeah, that does sound.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
It was with a J.
Oh, I put it somewhere else. Okay. I knew I thought I wrote it somewhere. Yep, there it is. Okay. Sometimes they go at the top, sometimes they go at the bottom. At least I'm writing notes.
Yes, which is good. Always write notes. Not many
But that
people do.
requires effort.
I know GMs that require the party members to write maps.
Well, that's a campaign I would not start or be in.
But I'm lazy.
Yeah. To be in my campaign, you have to write maps. Well, see you next.
I'm busy that day. I didn't tell you what day.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm not DMing. Does George want to stay in and eat second breakfast with us?
So, Nick, is Dandelion coming in the morning, in the afternoon? When would Dandelion turn up to?
Whoever opens the door first immediately sees my character standing there, about to knock on the door.
So, Castle, as you're about to leave, you open the door.
And you see this 5'5" person wearing a wooden mask, and a leaf is growing out of the wood, and they're wearing a green cloak, and they just stand there and look at you with their hand up. And then they put their hand out ready to shake. Hello.
I kind of stare for a moment and then reach out my hand and give your hand a shake. And are you a Dandelion? Is that
Yes.
that you?
Yes, I am.
We've been expecting you for a little bit. Come in.
I immediately walk in, but I do one really long step in, and then I do shuffling.
This is Lucky.
Hi.
Hello.
And this is Bella. And
I already have like a tankard of drink.
Already drinking today.
And it's first thing in the
What do
morning.
you drink?
I drink water. I
Water.
love water. Yes.
Is it you okay?
Yes.
Water. I bet you we have some somewhere. Let me go look.
That would be lovely. Or if not, you could just give me a glass and I'll just have my own water. I have a water skin. I can also just make water.
A glass slides across the bar in your direction and just stops in front of you.
Oh, cool. I pick it up. Not and taking any consideration that it just magically came over to me. And I take out my water skin and pour it in and drink this glass of water. Ah, refreshing.
Do you like eggs?
I do.
Okay. I go start
Awesome.
making eggs. Why do you wear a mask? Is your face like all scarred and something?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Now you got his
Terrible
attention.
eyes.
Totally got his attention now.
No, I wear this mask because I am a druid, and this is our religious signification. Basically, I can't show my face until I finish several rites that prove that I am a competent druid in my circle.
Wow, that's kind of harsh.
Yes. It is to show my honor to my clan.
Okay,
So what are we doing today?
we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna go to a pub.
That sounds lovely and exciting. And you notice when they talk and get really excited, this little leaf bounces occasionally on their head.
Okay, I bring you a plate of eggs.
Awesome. I begin eating it through the tiny little mouth slit in my mask.
Wow, I can see
It's just a
this-
little slight smile.
I can see the challenge of trying to feed bigger and bigger meals.
Yes. It does become a bit complicated at times, but I have knife and fork for a reason. And I continue to cut the eggs into smaller bite-sized pieces.
I've just remembered something that we haven't done, which is really important. So without further ado, what we need to do, and we'll go across this screen, does anyone else know what we need to do? Anyone else remember? No?
Hit points.
Yes. So I was just setting up the token right because it wasn't working properly. But we need hit points. So, would you like to roll a few hit point rolls, please, Nick? After all, I think only 8 hit points is not going to be enough.
No. Where do I just roll the hit dice for it? Or...
So, where you, on your character sheet, underneath your maximum hit point total and current hit points and temporary hit points, there should be hit dice and death saves. If you roll the hit dice, if you just roll, if the actual hit dice letters, like the word, that all should roll and add in all your constitution modifiers and everything else. We got the
Oh
first
dear.
one out.
2.
I'm not expecting 8s here, but it's okay. Actually, we can't expect 8. So 2's a good one. 2's not too bad. Could be worse. Could be 0. No, it could
I
be
don't
0.
think you could roll. You can?
Yes,
Oh my.
yes. There's a con of 8, I do believe.
Yes,
was
there is.
mentioned. I have not played with anyone who played a character with a con of 8 in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how. We'll
So my
cross our
character
fingers.
has an 8. Yeah.
And next one.
Another
Oh,
2.
dear.
Okay, I'll update it. There you go.
I no longer have the least amount of hit points in the party.
5, I'll update.
5.
So we're up to 18. No, I think we've done them all.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
Because
okay,
your first one, so your five's five's the last one. So you're at 18. 18 maximum hit points. You're at max at 4th level. Okay, so you do understand that we do have lots of slower healing mechanisms here, and because 18 hit points, at least there's not much to heal back from. It just means you're going to be lower.
It's not that much lower than mine, actually. I'm pretty close.
So I should be back on full health again, shouldn't I? Since we've probably long rested and stuff.
Well, long
Yeah,
rest
we
doesn't give
just-
you full hit points. It just gives you
Okay.
you roll your hit die overnight.
Oh, okay. So
As
I guess I go.
You get your short rest hit points instead of a long rest, I think it was.
Okay.
It's been
Do
a while
I go
since
ahead
I've
and-
looked at it.
That
Well, it's
should
been
be
a while
plenty.
since I've had to deal with this.
Yeah, because we don't usually do a lot of combats here. So you can do a
Yeah.
couple. You've got 4 to
Okay.
choose from.
Okay. Do I just click the little hit dice?
Yep. That rolls
Okay.
them.
7,
I think 7 may even get you back to max.
6, 7. No, not quite.
Do one more.
And 4.
There we go.
Yeah.
So you got a maximum
So-
of 33.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're a
I'm
little bit low.
Yeah. I have the most hit points now, don't I?
I believe you do.
I suspect you do. I only have 22.
Yeah.
I have 25, so
Yeah, I'm the tank. The little halfling.
Although your ghost bartender has less.
Okay, so it goes me, Castle, Lucky, Dandelion, the bartender.
No, the bartender's got more than Dandelion.
Wow.
I am as light as a leaf.
Yeah.
It goes you, Castle, Lucky,
And
the bartender,
and the
uh,
bartender are the
the,
same.
the mouse in the corner, the dead guy down the hall, and Dandelion.
and this is not counting Jord. Jord.
Yeah, well, Jordan
Jordan
probably
has
has more than all of us.
more than
but-
any of
If
us.
you want to
Yeah.
have Jordan there, he's a lot higher.
Yeah.
A lot higher.
Yeah. Let's not try to anger him.
No.
No, I make Jordan eggs in the morning. Here you go, eggs.
There you go. Oh boy, I just saw how many there is there. Yep, don't anger Jordan.
Could
All of
I,
them
while
combined.
Lucky was making the eggs, could I have snuck out to take care of my relatively short errand?
So where are you heading for your relatively short errand?
I need to get more fish, I'll be honest with you now.
Okay, that's
I
all it
need
is.
more fish for my keg.
You can get more fish. That's no problem. You can
I'm
find Yeah.
filling it up to the top.
you can find vendors for fish. You don't have to go to the other side of the city. You do, as you do go out though, you do notice an opening soon above Thruin's Brews. A big sign.
All right. Does that cost me 5 silver?
I depending on 5 silver's a lot of small fish.
I mean, I'm filling up a keg probably this big.
Yeah. That'd cost you maybe 5 silvers just for that full keg. If
Alright,
you're looking for
I'll
small
just-
fish. Yeah. Essentially bait
Alright.
fish.
Yeah, sure, that'll work.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking when you say small fish. Is like bait fish where 5 silver's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot. I need these fish though. That's the thing. So.
Don't know why, but okay, you do. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, and then after that, I'll head back because we have work to get to.
Yes, work. So where are you going today, and what are you up to when you do your works? In general, for everybody here.
Well, we probably don't do a heck of a lot till Castle returns.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it wouldn't take super long.
Yeah.
Not long at all.
Then once we're done at 11 Seas, we'll probably want to... Oh, we lost some camera stuff.
You guys.
That's okay, we're back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Once 11 Seas is done, we're probably going to head to the pub for lunch.
I'm sticking very close to everyone in the party, who's ever there, probably Lucky most of all, and taking notes of their behavior, as if I am watching an animal.
Well, Lucky will just be asking questions nonstop. So do you live in
I
the
will
forest?
write down all of these questions as he says them, and then I will return some answers if I know them.
Do you make friends with lots of animals?
Yes, I do. I can speak to them. I also have a spell that can make them friends with me. It doesn't last very long.
Are you friends with any bunnies?
I can be. Not currently. There aren't too many rabbits in the town.
Oh.
People don't
Well,
like them burrowing under their yards.
That's too bad.
But outside of city, in where the farms everywhere, there are rabbits all over the place. I speak to those occasionally. Yes. I can also turn into a rabbit.
So what names do you have for the bunnies?
They have their own names, but it's very hard to pronounce rabbit names in a human language. Usually they do it in nonverbal communication and or just their musk smell. It's difficult to verbalize musk smell.
How much of their names is part of their ears going back and forth?
That is usually a sign of distress. There's an enemy nearby.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Yes. Usually when you see them wiggle their nose and or fall over onto their bellies, it means that they're happy.
Ooh, I like that.
But if they
That's the same of a
freeze
doggy.
while they're on their belly, then it's not a good sign.
If a
they
doggy
freeze when they're
goes
on
on
the
his
belly.
back, it means he wants his belly rubbed.
Don't rub a rabbit's belly. They are very
He had a
different.
doggy.
They're very different.
His name was Leo.
Oh, that sounds
You would have
nice.
liked him.
I probably
He
would
was
have.
fluffy.
He also smelled
We all smell.
Yeah.
bad.
We all have very many different smells.
He ate his own poop.
That is yes. Many animals eat their own poop.
Oh boy, yep. There we go.
And so on.
The
And
day
I'm
will
writing
keep
down all of
going
this.
like this, non-stop. With, I'm sure, offers of food non-stop as well.
We won't role play the full 2 hours of talking.
No.
Oh, while this is going on, I'm just kind of watching, listening, eating, drinking.
Yeah. So, when you do finally head out into the city, when Castle is back. Why am I saying Cassell? When Castle is back, heading towards, I believe you're going towards Seaward. I'll move her over to there. Ta-da! And so we'll do North and Sea. Okay. We'll do the second one of those. So we've always got we've got lots of bits and pieces here. There we go. Okay. So as you're walking through the streets, and you're going through, and it's a normal day in the morning. There's a lot of broadsheets out. There's a lot of people talking about the news. A lot of people talking about the Gronholds, and how they were kidnapped and they were held at ransom in their own house, in their villa, and that the person that actually kidnapped them actually killed the Lord Gronhold, and now Lady Gronhold is having to raise her children all by herself, and that there's just like a lot of talk, a lot of rumor, and there's a lot of people selling broadsheets. It's the talk of the. It's really the talk. It's mostly Northward, but as you go further out into the Seaward, it's also prevalent there. As you're walking down the street, though, you well, it's who wants to be high and who wants to be low? Out of the,
I'll be low.
You'll be
I'll be
low.
low.
Lucky will be high.
Okay, we'll do the others in between. So roll. Okay, so it's actually the low. Castle, as you're walking down the streets, you hear, "Hey, you! Pick up those bags. I told you to pick the bags up and bring them with me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just get." And it's a noble, dress, and he's got retainers around him, and they're carrying what looks to be shopping bags or shopping baskets, and he's ordering you around as if you're one of his servants.
How close are other people to me?
Well, the group's there, the party's there around you, they're thereabouts, but there's no. You can see that there's servants around, and what you're wearing looks close to their servant's uniform, but not exactly the same.
Okay, but I'm wondering if there's like other people not part of the party nearby. I guess how crowded is this area?
It's not a super crowded area.
Okay. In that case, I will just kind of look up, nod, and I will act like I've been a servant this whole time, and I'll quickly pick up the bags and fall in line with the rest of the servants. And I will use Mask of Many Faces to kind of make my clothes look more like the servants' clothes.
Okay. Oh, I'm just reading chat at the moment. Let's go across to chat, shall we? Don't piss off the nobles. Knife the noble when no one's looking. Shopping bags? Question mark. Okay. Luckily it was Cassius and not the two halflings. Although it was really like 50-50 of getting a human or halfling in this party.
That's how Bella gets thrown in jail again.
Yeah, that's how it works.
For much longer.
Is that what you're doing, Ursame?
No, but I'm telling Castle to do it.
Okay. So as you pick up the bag, essentially it's a basket, and it's got bolts of silk and material in it, and it's actually quite heavy. How far are you going to go with this? Because you will be led astray and away from the party.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go until we get into a bigger crowd, and then I will use Mask of Many Faces again to just change my appearance. And if I can, I'd like to cast Prestidigitation.
Yep.
To put a different symbol on the bag so that it's visible.
Yep.
And then I'll just sneak off into the crowd with the bag.
Yep.
Yay!
Well, the noble, you can see the noble walking towards another shop, and it looks like a dressmaker's shop. And you see, as he enters, the servants starting to file in with him. You're thinking, oh, this may be my time. Like, you can be the last one to not go in.
Mm-hmm.
And just walk off. So it's either a sleight of hand or like a stealth, more of a stealth. to like just like be not go in. But I'll give you advantage because you are using prestidigitation, using magic and illusions and things like that.
I should mention too, just luckily, this freak crack of thunder suddenly takes off as he goes into the crowd. Is probably gets some people's attention since there's no clouds in the sky.
So we've got multiple thaumaturgies coming through, multiple spells coming through. You can't amplify someone's already advantage on something.
I have advantage.
Just for the sake of it. Nice.
Well, with a 23 and a 22, no matter which one, you're still passing. So as they go through, like they go into the door and the servants walk in and you just keep on walking into the crowd, and the crowd starts getting thicker, and like there's a big crack of thunder that goes across and like people turn around and like they're distracted in the opposite direction of your walking, and it's nice and subtle that you just walk off with bolts of silk, essentially a large basket with bolts of silk and embroidery and very high quality material there. It may not be something you'd normally wear, but it's maybe costly. And were you lawful in your character sheet?
Yes, I was.
We're correcting him.
One.
I assume I'm moving over to.
No.
Okay. All right.
For one indiscretion, I'm not going to do anything like that. I just love that they've finally won. Seeing last session, you chased a child through probably the slummiest, one of the slummiest areas in the city for nothing, because Lucky then picked the money out of that pouch.
Oh yeah, I lost money on that.
Yes.
And inspiration, and it was still so worth it. But I will say that I'm not immediately returning with the silk. I am going to go into an alley.
Mm-hmm.
I will take one of the bolts of silk out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take probably like 10, 15 square feet. Chop it off with my dagger.
Yep. And then I'll use Mask of Many Faces and drop the silk off at the door of the establishment, and my way to the Scabbard, the Broken Lance Tavern, if I can. So you're breaking up a herd. You cut off some of the silk, and then you return to the basket with most of it left.
Yeah, I just 15 feet.
Okay. So you're breaking up. So that's pretty much what you did. So you stole a little bit from a noble.
No, I definitely. I will.
We're breaking up even more.
Am I still there?
You're like little bits and pieces. We can not really make out what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what I think I heard you say was, no, you misunderstood, Karsh. I'm keeping 15 feet for myself and then giving the rest of the halflings. Just if that's correct, then break up a little more when you say yes. Yeah, okay. I think that's clear enough.
That is incorrect.
I'm sure we'll work it out when it happens. But you totally get away with it. In this case, you totally get away with it, and you meet up with everybody, and somewhere, for some reason, Lucky and Bella feel this like admiration for you for some just random reason. It's like, oh,
well, actually, Lucky, the first thing he asks is, "Where's the silk?"
I will take out the small roll that's probably only this big, and I'll say, I grabbed a little bit for my personal use, but the rest of it wasn't. It's a lot of nice silk, so I figured they could use it more than we could.
Yeah, I get it. You returned it.
I returned most of it, but I needed this for my personal use.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I mean,
Subtlety.
I certainly hope you just returned it, because I'd be
Oh,
disappointed otherwise.
No, don't worry. I returned.
Oh, he definitely gave it back.
I'm just gonna
Well,
play
come
along.
I mean, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally right thing to do. Okay, so I don't think you've been into this tavern before. You've hit a lot of taverns. This one's a bit of a different one. So as you enter the tavern, which you've been directed to, it's a lot rougher than what you'd normally go into. And when I say rougher, I don't mean like the roughness of the taverns in Dock Ward, which you're very familiar with, but I mean along the walls are swords and lances, shields, heraldry. The place is military. Everybody in the tavern, almost everybody in the tavern, I should say, is wearing armor. They have weapons at their side. They all look very, very large, men and women, and very capable of what they're doing. Although it's midday, the tavern is surprisingly full, and you see it's more of a case of there's factions in one corner, a faction in another corner. So people wearing uniforms, maybe military, maybe caravan guards or things like that, but they seem to be sectioning themselves off into individual areas, and they're they're loudly talking to each other, but they're not intermixing at all. And that's what greets you when you enter the Broken Lance, a tavern full of mercenaries and guards.
They don't seem to be very friendly with each other.
Sense that it is tense.
It might be wise to find a seat somewhat near the exit in case things get hairy.
Okay. That's a smart idea. That's why you're the leader.
Yeah.
You are the leader? I write this down.
Yes,
Yeah,
Castle's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
So you see your target, Maloon War Dragon, on a table by himself. He looks old by the standards in this room. In his mid 40s, late 30s. He looks like he's been through a lot of fights and a lot of battles. Beside him on his belt is a large axe, and it's very impressive in itself. It's a large two-handed axe, and it's very pretty and ornamental, but you think it's also got function in its ornamenticity.
And to our understanding, the Grey Cloaks are like all former guards and stuff like that. Is that the idea?
The Grey Beards, yes. They're all former guard.
And he's a prominent member of the Greybeards, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so.
I'll be right back. I need to let a dog out.
Okay.
How far away is Maloon sitting from us?
You can have two options. You can find a location which is close to him or further away, but more discreet.
But we did want to sit near the exit. Is he close to the exit or? further away from it.
As you think of that way, he looks like he's in the absolute perfect location to see everything that moves in the room and to engage anything that that comes at him. He doesn't have his back to anybody, and he's close to pretty much everything that he needs. Tactically, he looks like he's actually pre-thought about these things and positioned himself where he needs to be just in case. Whereas other groups are just talking amongst themselves. He just looks blankly at the crowd and at the room. Every now and then he takes
Is he
a drink.
eating or drinking? Oh, he's drinking.
Every now and then he takes some food, has a bite, puts it down, but he's just looking blankly at the room itself.
It looks like he's waiting for somebody to attack him. Maybe he's worried.
Yeah, could I do insight to see if he's showing any sort of anxiety or anything?
You can do insight, yes.
I'll throw one out as well.
Well, you can help each other and give advantage instead.
Okay, and I'll throw a guidance on too.
Of course.
Or should I do it? Doesn't matter. We're probably the same.
I'm pretty good at insight.
Me too. We
And-
probably both have +6.
+8.
Oh, you're better.
Yeah.
Oh, you're better than me.
And realistically, it should be the first person says, I look into this. Yeah.
Okay. So click your guidance.
If you need help, I can do it for you.
And so the guidance is down by where global skill modifier. Do I just click the little check mark?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. And am I rolling with advantage or am I just getting a guidance?
With advantage. There you go. Done. So 24 is a good check. A good roll there. With the 24, you realize that there's certainly something not quite right with him. He's not. It's less of a case of. He's very mechanical in his actions. Although, I mean, he's looking at the room, but he's not looking at anything at all, and everything's just very much mechanical and very much like a puppet almost.
I relay this. I look at him, it's like just squinting at this man, and I'm like, he seems a bit dazed, like he's just not all there. I don't know. I can't tell if it's magical or not. He could just be having a very bad day. Maybe we should cheer him up by feeding him something.
I'm good at that.
As you're saying this, and like maybe you should cheer him up. One of the mercenaries walks past him, and just accidentally bumps him. As an almost an instinctual thing, he just turns with his fist and punches this person to the ground, like as a reaction, and then he stands up, and then continues punching. Everyone just stops and just moves back instead of rushing to help. And there are other people wearing the same almost uniform.
I rush to help.
There are people wearing the same uniform as this person, and they are not even rushing to help. They are moving back away from their friend.
Except me.
If there is an opportunity, I will cast Healing Spirit on that person. So a little, do you know what a chewinga is? It's from the Tomb of Annihilation thing. That a little spectral version of that just kind of bobs up and down on top of his head as he's getting
exactly
punched.
What I
but I
thought
do
of when
not
you
get
described
near.
your character, actually. I thought, that's like a big chewing gum.
So what I'll ask is a stealth roll for that, because casting is a naughty thing in the city. And you won't have advantage on it because there's a distraction, but you don't have a disadvantage because you're in a crowded tavern. So, like, the fact that there's a distraction negates the fact that you usually would have a disadvantage in this circumstance. Because magic's kind of an obvious thing. Sometimes. Well, you're 7. Because you don't have the you don't have the guidance anymore. But
Yes, sorry, that was still checked.
that's okay. It does
There we
happen.
go.
I do
7.
that myself. So you throw the like. You think some people notice you, but again, there's a lot of stuff going on. And there's no obvious effect for some people, so it's not like you're casting a fireball. Then you get a bigger reaction, and then you'd get a, oh my god, target the mage.
Does that mean you could stealthily cast a fireball? 'Cause that's what it sounds like.
I'm not saying yes, but I'm a lot more open in my way of casting things. Especially
What you have to do is when you ask that, you have to do this.
But a fireball is, from memory, is a little bead that goes out and then explodes at the target. So you could see that more than just something that wraps somewhere else. Maybe. Anyway. So a little tringer, like a few people can see, a little tringer comes out from behind the shadows of one of the table's legs and just starts like trying to touch the person and trying to like healing force on the person. And not many people can see it, but you are doing some healing to the person. So you can do your healing. How much healing?
So it's 1 point of healing. It is 1 point. However, the effect is concentration.
Healing word?
No, it's not healing word. It is healing
Oh.
spirit.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it is concentration, and until the spell ends, whenever a creature is in the spirit space, it heals another 1d6 at the start of each of its turns.
Yep. You think by the strength of this person is punching that this little amount of healing is not going to be much.
Well, I hope he just doesn't die. That was my kind of thing. It's like,
Yep.
he may die. Let's just hope he doesn't.
And Osame, you're laughing quite a bit.
I think
I'm
you'll be
just
okay.
picturing it in my head. Just picturing the little thing doing its best to heal. This person just getting wailed on.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hope he stops beating on that poor man.
I mean, it's a bit much.
So I've cast a spell.
So you've cast your spell of Sanctuary. You ward one creature within range until. So who are you warding with your spell?
I guess 3 guesses.
Well, I've got to ask.
The guy getting beaten on.
Okay.
We'll try to help him out.
So he needs a saving throw. Is that it?
Attack him. Yeah, the wisdom save to continue attacking.
Okay, this is an interesting one for other reasons, but oh wow. So Maloon was beating and punching in, and like you can just see the little Chewinga just trying to heal him from hiding from behind it, and then he seems to be just annoyed and just walks back to his table, like just turns around, sits back into his chair, as if there's nothing going on, and everyone else is just still going, what just happened? Oh my god. And they just,
I thought it would all turn out for the best.
Slowly one of his friends starts dragging the person off the ground, and you see the Tringa start like following and just holding onto his leg and just holding onto the person's leg and being dragged along with him.
Does he look okay?
He looks like he's actually taking a lot of damage from someone that punches a lot harder than you would expect.
I think it's mostly circumstantial.
Here we go.
While that one guy's being dragged off, I'll go approach his friend and tell him I'm a medic. I can see if he's okay.
He looks okay.
As you look at him, it looks like he's not as bad as you thought. He's semi-conscious, but he's coming back and coming to, and it's like, oh man, they warned me about that one. Oh man, next time I'm going around the other side of the room with my drinks.
That's smart. You don't want to spill your drinks.
But he will need more medical attention.
I don't have the healer's med kit or anything, but could a medicine check just rip off some of his robes and just stop the bleeding from his nose? I guess
it's more of
here,
a,
tilt your head back, don't do this thing.
It's more of a reset the nose more than anything else, because what you witness is someone that has 4 attacks every round as in the fight, just as a warning there. Like he was essentially one round where you bang 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 and just decimated this person before anything happened. So yeah, so you do, if you do a healing check, you can help with the healing process. I will say that the medical kit does actually give more healing benefits than what it usually would in this campaign, because so you reset the nose, and so things up the nose and pull it and reset it, and it's disgusting. There's blood everywhere. You think there may be a couple of ribs broken as you're feeling around, but as you're feeling around, they seem to come back like underneath your fingers from some unknown force. But other than that, you think the guy really is going to recover, but it's going to take a couple of days. Not a great yeah. That's okay.
While this has all been going on, I wanted to keep an eye on Bella and make sure she's not trying to steal anything. This would be an inopportune time for that to happen. I'm not being obvious. I'm just paying attention to that.
I'm just kind of looking at the guy, I don't know what we should do. I mean, he's very off. I mean, that was a bit much, even by my standards.
Yeah, well, maybe a drink will cheer him up.
I mean,
Also,
maybe.
He has a drink, and every now and then he just...
Well, maybe a different drink.
You know, it always cheers me up. Mushrooms.
I mean, mushrooms make me feel better, too.
Mm-hmm. Especially in butter.
Yeah. Mushrooms and butter. We get him a plate.
I'll go up to the bartender and say, "Do you guys sell mushrooms sautéed in butter?"
We don't really. We have more hearty fare than mushrooms, though, here.
Hearty.
There's nothing more
bacon.
higher than
Bacon?
mushrooms.
We've got bacon. We've got we can do steaks, pies.
Pies. Oh, I like them. I like a good pie. Something with lots of meats and vegetables in it.
Well, I don't know about the vegetables, but meats we can do. Our
Boring
clientele
without
is not the big on vegetables. And he looks over, and it's mostly males, mostly big, large people that have a high protein diet.
What kind of, what's a good drink you recommend?
Are you asking the bartender this?
Yes, I am.
Anything alcoholic. And if you're asking me personally, anything expensive on our menu?
Okay, I want something, but not the most expensive. I mean, how much is the most expensive?
And he looks down at you and goes,
I know what soldiers like. They like meat. Meat is made of honey.
He seems to be evaluating how much you can afford.
We want a glass of mead.
glass of mead. Yep. It's
and bacon.
You wanting the bacon in the mead?
No, on a plate.
Okay.
A plate of bacon and a glass of mead.
Just didn't know. We
I'll
don't have
make
many
anyone
halflings
happy.
in here. We know
And
they've got
what
strong
is-
diets.
Excuse you,
If
sir.
you want more halflings, I recommend you bring mushrooms on the menu.
We'll keep that in mind. I don't know. There's many mercenaries of that ilk, but we'll keep that in mind.
We're former guard members.
Yeah, that's right.
So are we all. And although you don't believe he's telling the truth.
I'll tell you something about halflings. There may not be as many, but we always order seconds.
In the alcohol.
For the food and alcohol.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Sometimes thirds. And fourths.
Only if we're there more than half an hour.
Yeah.
So they deliver the mead and the bacon to your table.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Okay,
grab
guys.
the mead.
Let's go talk to this guy. Who's
Approach
gonna
him
do
from the
talk-
front.
I
Like,
assume, Castle, you're going to do the talking?
Yep, I got this. I'll take care of this.
Good luck!
I will need
Guidance. So the four
And
of
I'll
you,
walk beside him, yeah.
yeah, like,
With like a trepidatious smile.
yeah, because like if Lucky's holding the bacon and I have the meat, we're just slowly walking there and like making
Don't
sure we
worry,
walk.
guys. It's going to work out okay.
the four of you walk across the tavern to his table.
I think we kind of tiptoe.
The tavern actually quietens when they start noticing this, and they start realizing your intention. And there's this quietness that goes about the tavern. As there are 4 seats there. There are 4 stools there for you to sit down at his table, and you approach, and Maloon doesn't seem to see you. He seems to be looking through you as you approach.
I put down the
Yeah,
bacon
Castle.
and the mead, and I just slide it across to in front of him.
We offer our offerings.
Yeah.
He reaches
Hi.
out to his own drink, puts it to his lips again, and puts it back down.
Maloon, do you mind if we take a seat?
Mechanically, he looks up and looks at Castle and no, he says, "Go away," and looks back to just looking straight ahead through nothing.
DM question.
Yes.
Because when we're supposed to cheer this guy up, correct? I was working on my fish plan.
We're supposed to find out why he's acting the way he is.
Okay. In that case, I will go ahead and kind of gingerly sit down at the table.
He doesn't act. He doesn't do anything. Doesn't seem to even acknowledge you're there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a quietness around the tavern now. Everybody's just waiting on edge. Can I get a spot check for 1 or 2? I don't want everyone.
mine.
I can do it. My character also has not sat down.
Yeah.
They've just kind of slowly crouched so that they're like head level, but they're not sitting.
So shrinking down to maybe the halfling size of the. You notice in your peripheral vision that there's like hushed voices and money exchanging hands.
Oh, I wish I could get in on this.
Oh, you're
Really?
in on this, but the wrong
Yeah,
end.
no, but I could put in a little bit of money.
No, you're in the wrong end here.
I bet everything would work out fine.
That'd be the wrong bet. Um,
I'd get odds.
but no, you notice
Taking
that there's yes.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's just like yes, you notice money changing hands and like there's a couple of the groups that are starting to essentially bet one side or the other. It's very much one-sided though.
Yeah.
Taking a closer look, does this? He seems rather mechanical in his motions, perhaps a bit too mechanical. Is he somehow a nimble right?
Perception check. Or an
The
insight.
long shot.
Whichever one, perception or insight. You do have guidance still. Because it is
I
your
do.
next check.
But is it ability check of my choice? I'd really rather not use it on this Hail Mary.
It is next check. Oh no, it is of your choice. So yep,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
totally right. Yes. You're right, I'm wrong. I'm now reading this. Oh yes.
Nice
Oh
roll.
boy.
Wow. It doesn't look like there's anything anything mechanical, more something controlling. You also
Okay.
notice that his drink has not moved. As in, it's not going down. He brings it to his mouth every now and then, puts it back down. Food as well.
So it's like he's being like mentally controlled. Is that the idea? Or what we're getting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maloon, some of your friends are rather worried about you. Been acting strange.
And he turns to you. Ah, yes. Friends. And that's it.
Just going to take a look around the pub and see if anyone is looking like they might be doing some kind of sneaky magic.
Oh, they're all looking at you.
Yeah, I know they're looking, but I'm
You can do a
wondering.
perception.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if anyone might be doing some kind of magic on this guy.
21. That's pretty good. You know that if you're pretty sure that there's no one you can see, but
Okay.
what it looks like to everybody else is that they're all looking at you, waiting to see the spark and the fight, and they all got their bats there, and you're just looking at them going, and that's what it looks like to them. That you're looking a little bit nervous.
Okay.
But no, you don't see anyone that looks like they're controlling this person or doing anything kinky or magical. How's the Tringa going? Is his Tringa still going?
I don't last for 1 minute, so I assume
Okay.
it ended when healing with.
But that'd be 9d6 of healing.
Yeah,
so
he is.
So
that's got to
would've
be.
gone
now
back up.
after getting his pummeled.
Yep, would have gotten back up then.
Could I see if he has any sort of like sigils or weird growths on him?
Medical
To
or
see if, like-
arcane? Which one?
Because in my character's head, they're thinking maybe he's affected by some sort of parasite. Like, there's ants that have like this parasite
So
that
you're
are like
looking more
grow
the
out of them.
medical side.
Yeah. Or nature, but yeah.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Oh dang.
You know that there's things in nature which can less nature, more monstrous, that can control other things. And you know they're not things to be messed with. That they will kill a host and then burrow into its brain and control it.
I slowly inch over towards Castle and whisper in his ear. He may be affected by a parasite.
You see it
Something
turn and watch this.
dangerous.
He's watching you speak.
I feel we should leave. There's not much we
Yeah.
can do for him now.
He's reaching
I'm-
over to his
I'm.
axe.
Oh no!
I'm gonna kind of push Dandelion away with one
No.
arm.
No, I'm getting in
I'm
front
not-
of Castle. Trying just to get in front of him.
Oh, it's going downhill fast. Please, Maloon, there's no need for violence. We're not trying to hurt you. We're trying to help you.
You
Yeah.
see him starting to try to lift up his axe. What do you do?
Oh, I hope he doesn't do that.
This is me.
Like,
as the
take 30
GM.
steps
What
back.
do you do?
Standing
I
up.
push Castle out of the way.
I have cast a spell.
And you try to charm person.
If somebody's got control, maybe I can wrestle it back.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, how do you flavor your charm person? You do see,
Okay.
for those that did say they step back, they do realize that the crowd is a lot more animated right now. Everybody watching is a lot more animated, and they're on edge.
Okay, so there is a verbal and a somatic component to this spell. So the verbal component will be, actually, I'll start with the somatic component. The somatic component is I take the bacon and I push it towards him. The verbal component is don't fight, just have some bacon.
Okay. So this is an interesting one. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do 3 saves. And one of them is going to be, can you do a charisma essentially for a controlling? Like
A
for
charisma save?
yeah.
Like a saving throw or a check?
Like a check is essentially the same thing.
Well, I'm proficient in charisma saves.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or save, either one, yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
So this is a weird... Okay, so 11. And then there's one here. And then there's going to be another one. So then the other one is... That's right. Okay. He lifts the axe off the table. And and the crowd just goes, "Oh!" And then it comes down on you. That's
What comes down on who?
Yeah. Who is the
everyone
like-
else. Everyone said they got up and moved back.
No, I said I pushed Castle back. Like I basically kind of put myself in front of him.
Okay,
I specifically said I'm 30 feet away.
I heard that
Okay.
one. Yep.
So I think it's
Okay, so it's only 2 targets then. The 2 smallest targets.
I'm not
Or
the
tanks.
smallest.
They are the
I
2
think-
smallest
So,
targets.
it's the 2 halflings.
Yes.
Bella was actually
Oh.
pushing
Yeah.
Castle away, so I'm not sure if she's close. I think it might just be me.
Okay.
I mean, I probably am fairly close if I push Castle
I
away.
think I'm probably in front of you.
Okay.
Let me take the hit. No, let me take the hit.
Oh,
And
well,
Daniel
that
was
would
like,
be-
"Yes,
that'd
you
be
can
a hit.
take the hit."
That'd be a hit for a lot of damage.
If it
Oh,
didn't,
did Timora get in the way?
I
So-
forgot about that.
oh no, I knew it. So Azure Edge comes down at Lucky, which may or may not hit because Lucky is lucky. So I have to roll again. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. That was a low roll, by the way.
Yeah, well, you roll again with the luck, and I choose which
I
one
know.
to take. So it can't get worse.
I know.
Well, I will take the initial roll.
Yeah. So it's either 11 or 15, and you take the 11.
Ow!
And he raises again. And at this point, pretty much everybody is actually on the way in towards you guys. So he's going to get one more attack before the first person reaches you. And when I mean first person, I mean there are several people running in to try to get you out of there. And this is just happening in an instant. So another 15.
I will. I'll try one more time.
Okay. So I double clicked. That's what that was. So yeah. So let's see if lucky works. It works.
Thank you, Tamora.
So, as Azure Edge comes down the second time,
and the bacon that I'm offering gets in the way, and it crashes against the plate, and the bacon goes flying everywhere. I go, the bacon!
and Azure Edge sticks into the bar, it's like sticks into the table itself, and he's just stuck into the massive thick oak bench table, as big massive burly mercenaries are running, and they just pick you both up and just dragging you as quickly as they can out of there. And in the same space, others are leaving the tavern. Pretty much everyone is running out of the tavern. Even you notice the bartenders going out a back door. You find yourself on the street. It's now a bit crowded on the street. Maybe 30 or so people in armor and weapons. And they're going, "Oh my god, you did that? Why? Why? And then no one says, "My money, my bet."
I assume Maloon hasn't followed us out. Us out then.
No, he
Yeah.
hasn't.
Okay.
If you look into the tavern through a window, you can see there's tables with piles of money, piles of gold stacked on the tables in pretty much 2 separate piles each on every table, and Maloon just sitting back down, Azure Edge sitting in his table, and he's drinking and eating.
I don't think he likes bacon.
And the bacon spread off everywhere.
He got that bacon all up. I mean, I think he almost got me with that first attack. It was really close. I think he might have got me a bit, but I don't think he got me very much.
Yeah, not as much as you think. But it still got you a little bit.
Yeah, he got me for 3.
There we go.
So a glancing blow.
There you go. And you're running out of spells.
I still have I have a couple second level and another first level, so I'm not out yet.
I think I'm gonna peek into the window.
It's still-
And I still there?
Yep.
Oh, by the way, and okay, the guidance is gone.
Okay, yep.
All right.
The guidance is back.
Why even bother? But thank you for following
There are
the
rules, Karsh. And Treant Monk follows the rules.
Thank you. Thank you for following the rules. doing your concentration checks when you're being attacked with a concentration spell, and then recasting the spell instantly afterwards because it doesn't really matter.
Weren't you only hit once?
No, I was. Oh, that's right. I was only hit once.
Yes.
So okay.
Ha. Anyway, is Balloon within 30 feet of me?
He is.
All right. I will use Awakened Mind, and I will telepathically say to Maloon, whoever is controlling you, you've made a mistake. And that's it.
Okay.
Ooh, boy.
Interesting. Remember we had 3 checks for the charm spell?
Yeah.
There's multiple entities in there, which is why there was 3 checks. It's just you got the wrong one, and the wrong one succeeded. This is going to be hard. So one's at a disadvantage.
Okay.
So one's in control, one's at a disadvantage, and the other one's at a disadvantage. It's just to see which one you get.
Okay. I'm rolling 2 things at disadvantage and 1 thing normally. What am I rolling?
No, I'm trying to think which one's going to be there and how to do it. So if I do a D10, say 5, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2 is how I'm going to work out which one you're telling, or which one you're contacting with your thing.
Yeah.
That was me thinking there. Okay. Okay. So you contact something, and it's something like when your brain makes contact, you know you're contacting something, and your brain makes contact, your mind makes contact with something that is just absolutely, totally alien. And you feel you're trying to send this message of you've picked the wrong person, or essentially go away. But you feel that link actually trying to jump back at you. You feel that mind coming at you, and Maloon stares out the window, and it just is focusing his eyes on your eyes, and you just feel that finally it actually looking at you for the first time, and it's really, really scary. Can I get essentially a fear check, a wisdom save?
Wisdom save?
Yeah.
Straight wisdom.
Straight wisdom. That's bad. As you're trying to, you steady yourself. It's like, I can hold this off. But what you're holding off is the fact that you're not running away when it's about to attack you. So take 3 psychic damage as the link that you've put onto whatever's controlling Maloon flashes back at you. So you now have a migraine in the most nicest possible way of putting it. You just got psychic backlash off your spell.
Okay. I mean, as a warlock of the Great Old One, it's probably the best person for it to happen to.
Yeah, I would think you'd be used to alien minds.
Wonder what I'm doing. Wonder what I'm doing with these fish.
This isn't the one I've got the pact with.
It's not that one, no. So
Castle?
what are we doing? There's
Yeah,
a lot of talk now going, but our money's in there. Like, our pets. And then there's people, you go in there then. I was like, no, I'm not going there. That's pretty much the talk.
Gentlemen.
There's a lot of money in there, is there?
Yeah. Gentlemen.
And that's exactly what you start doing. Very unsubtly, with a 6 stealth roll, start... And you're getting your way through the crowd, and you get to the door, and you start opening it, and someone just grabs you from behind. It's like, and slowly pulls you back. I don't think that's a safe idea.
I don't think you understand. I'm a halfling. I'm very, very good at speaking. And I gotta tell you that. Where did Bella go?
And as he pulls you away from the door, and there's a few people now looking at you and starting to talk to you. Look,
I don't get it. What's going on?
And Bella just goes straight through the door while there's a distraction. So there are tables. There are several tables with gold just sitting on them. On each table, there's always a large pile and a small pile, small pile. And at the other end of the room is Maloon War Dragon, just looking out the window now.
I'm just gonna stay as far away from him as I can, and just start going to the tables and collecting what I can.
Okay, how many tables?
How many tables are there?
There's easily 8 or 9 tables. Depending on how many tables there are, depends on a advantage that depends on the role he gets for his perception, essentially. The longer you spend in, the more you'll be noticed. Or chance that you'll be noticed.
3.
3, okay. So let's see. Where's the?
I should mention that as she's collecting, the door flies open for no reason at all.
You're already providing one distraction for her to get in, and that you're being talked down to, and warned about going in. That's you're already preoccupied. So I'm not going to allow you or Thermatochi to do that. You've got her in, but she's by herself now. And 3 tables.
Am I still watching through the window, or did I turn away after I?
Do you want to still watch her from the window?
I think she beat my passive perception, so I probably would not be looking in the window then.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering as to the timing.
I think none of us actually know where Bella is for sure. But we gotta
Does Dandelion know?
I mean, that was a
guess.
The high passive, but I didn't even see her.
Yep. So, oops, that was one thing. 23 against your 26. Lucky you didn't go for more tables. You look back at one stage and you're under a table, just reaching up, scraping into a blanket or into like a bag, and you can look up and he's actually looking above your table out the window, and he hasn't. You're just looking into his eyes, just going. and so you've got a couple of goblets, you've got a couple of bits and pieces that you've got money in now. It's like in bowls, anything you can reach to just scrape it onto. And he was just looking just over you and just not really looking at you, looking past you as you scrape up 3 tables worth of both bets for you and bets against you. The bets against you were, of course, the bigger piles. And how are you getting out?
I guess stealth out. I mean,
Combat roll.
Front door, or so you've got 3 options. You got the front door, you've got the the staff door behind the bar, or the back door, which is close to Maloon?
Well, I'm not doing the back door.
Mm-hmm.
How
the front door's got a lot of people outside.
Yeah.
it,
Can I
which
get to the staff door without getting too close to him?
You can. It's the medium option.
Okay, I'll go through there.
Okay. So you go through the staff door and you see that there's essentially a back, like with the Trollscar Alley. There's a cooking area and whatnot. There's no actual back door though. There's just like 5 staff just hiding in a corner, and they're just waiting, and they don't know what to do. And they see you, and it's like, what are you doing? Shh. What? And they're just hiding there. There's the pantry. There's everything there, but there's no actual back door.
Is there a window?
There are.
Can I go out a window?
Okay, so you climb off the bench and onto the cooking surfaces. Not too hot, and you crack open a window and jump out. And they're like, they're not following you, but they're really pissed you just broke their window and left them. They're not going to be able to fit out. They're not going to. So you're at the back alley behind the the tavern. You can hear the crowd on the other side of the street.
So, how much money do I got?
Oh God, you just stole from Mercs. My God. You will say it was all in gold pieces. It was all in gold pieces. So that's 1. Two. Okay. So 32, 15, and 2.
Be 49.
49. 49 gold pieces off the table.
Alrighty.
That's a nice haul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The 49 you said, so that would be okay.
Yeah. So once again, the richest people in the group are the thieves.
Well, of course. Okay, now is it obvious that I have this, or have I kind of hidden it on me? All the money.
Well, do you have a backpack, or because this is it's a lot of coin.
I probably don't have a backpack. I don't.
You probably have a belt pouch. Everyone gets a belt pouch.
Yeah, but that's a lot of coins to be holding in a belt.
So
Okay.
if she stuffs her
Just
belt
tie
pouch,
off your pant
just
legs
straight
at
gold.
the end, and then just stuff everything in your pants. You just jangle around.
There you go.
Socks.
I mean, I kind of have like a little, cloak.
Yeah, you can wrap it up in the cloak.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do that, and I'm gonna kind of peek around the corner. And can I see like Lucky or any of those
still
two?
being talked down to.
Okay, do I?
Dandelion and Cassell are the only ones that are by themselves. Cassell's, I think, tempted to look through the window, but not wanting to.
Okay, I'm going to cast message. I gotta go home to the manor. Everything's fine.
I'm assuming this message is for me.
I couldn't see you. I wasn't, so I figured I'd have to give it to Castle.
Oh, I think you saw all of us.
Well, I thought. Well, I guess. Okay, yeah, I guess I can give it to you. Lucky, I gotta go home. I gotta go to the manor.
Let me guess. And just in the middle of air, he goes.
Yeah, I do it back.
The fist bump.
Actually.
I'll see you later. Everything worked out.
he just sees like a little fist, like, and I'm gonna head to the manor.
With your ill-gotten gains.
Yes.
And
Say
all of a
welcome.
sudden,
First off, wait a minute. It's not ill-gotten gains.
because
I
everyone in
mean,
the group
they
that
were
has
taking.
telepathy, I'll send a message to Castle. Bella's heading to the manor. She's okay.
It is not ill-gotten gains. They were taking bets on us.
And 4.
Therefore, yeah, against us, for us. Therefore, we get a percentage.
As I see it, we win.
I mean, yes, we did win.
And what is Dandelion doing in all this?
Dandelion is speaking with Cass about how they should go to a library or something to get research on. They're thinking maybe we should try to figure out what type of parasite they have to deal with, because we're not hired to deal with it. We just have to figure out what the problem is. And once we get all that, then we can go present it to the people who hired us. So maybe we could go to a library and try to figure out like what type of parasites affect somebody like this. Because I don't know if you've told me that you literally had a mind connection linked to this guy and got attacked.
Castle would be pretty quiet about that, I think. But yeah, as you're discussing as Dandelion is discussing this with Castle, he agrees. Yeah, I definitely think that doing some research would be good. You seem very knowledgeable about animals and natural order of things.
Yes, it is almost as if it's in my job description as I present my resume. I'm a very good employee. And I roll it back up.
You haven't... Okay.
Absolutely.
In another show, they have business cards. I'm not going to complain.
I don't have proficiency in calligraphy, so it kind of looks like just a bunch of doodle drawings, but I do have one.
Business cards.
Interesting. And where do you hail from exactly?
Well, I'm from here, but I've been spending most of my time in Chult researching the undead in that place and the plague. You see, I specialize in medicines and just, knowing things about nature. And they thought that maybe it was some sort of fungal thing, but in fact, it was just the magical curse, so I couldn't help them any longer. And I came back to Waterdeep.
Spoiler alert for anyone that's playing that campaign. Sorry.
I mean, it's been out
Still a
for a
great
while.
campaign, though. It's still a great campaign.
I
It is a
think
good
it's
campaign.
well known that it's a curse. Since they call it the death curse.
Don't tell anyone. Secret.
I hear it all turned out okay.
Of course. So we're going to take a break here. This is going to be a shorter show. So we'll take a little bit of break here. I have a meeting with my goblins teachers today. It's nothing bad. It's actually a good thing. But we're going to be finishing a little bit shorter. So we'll have a little bit of break here, which is, again, we started a little bit late, and so it's been a bit of it's going to be a weird one today. We'll put it at that. So we're going to just take, as I said, a little bit of break. And we'll be back shortly, so stick around. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will be back really soon. So bye for now.
Get in there! I'll show you how I feel about that!
I
Yeah,
was ready to pull out all the stops. I was thinking about,
yeah,
should I cast Expeditious Retreat on Lucky and get him out of there?
No,
Do
you
I?
can't. No, you can't. But I could cast Mirror
yeah.
Image on myself if I had needed to. Or Sanctuary, or both. Or a dual image. Well, it just seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Because he's pulling a blade, Look like he might attack Castle.
Get into it! Get in there! Get into it! you for a fair fight.
Great Dragon says he floors him.
Hello, and we are back into the show. Thank you for being patient with us. Thanks for sticking around. So we are into the second half. This is going to be a much shorter second half than normal for our normal Waterdeep Dragon... Not Waterdeep Dragon Heist, but Blades of Waterdeep based off Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So our adventurers, or our thieves and miscreants party with mixed morals, I could say, have escaped an encounter with Maloon War Dragon, one of the head of their organisation, who has a little bit of problem with his head at the moment. The group believes that he's being manipulated or controlled psychically by something, but they do not know what. So that's where we left off. Also stealing money off the tables that were being bet on them because everyone in the tavern thought that they were going to be killed. So it wasn't about starting the fight. That was always going to happen. They already knew that was going to happen. They were betting on whether you were going to die or whether you were going to live. That was the betting. So that's where you find ourselves. We're outside the tavern. Still no guard has arrived yet, which is a bit strange. The people are slowly starting to disperse. And so what is the plan for the party?
I will kind of round everyone up. I mean, I say everyone. I will round Lucky and Dandelion up, and I believe we're going to head off to some library where we can acquire knowledge about this parasite Dandelion mentioned.
An insight check as well from someone.
For me?
Just anyone.
Oh, I'll throw one.
Yep. There you go. You remember that one of the people you've met of recent weeks wrote a book on this subject.
Volo?
Mm-hmm.
That's who I figured. My friend Volo. Volo! Volo will know all about this. He's so smart. He writes books about everything. Just ask him.
Let's go ask him. Let's go ask him. Where is he?
Oh, I bet you wherever he is, he won't be hard to find because he tends to talk a lot. And he tends to tell people who he is a lot.
That's good because it's a pretty big city.
I bet you he's in a pub.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Why go to the library when you can just go to the tavern?
I just figured we should go where the knowledge is. He is an expert.
He's going drinking without me.
Well, where are you going to head off to? You know the Font of Knowledge isn't too far away.
I think that might be a good place to start regardless.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Font of Knowledge is the Temple of Ogma. And also you also know that behind the Temple of Ogma is 3 taverns. And behind that, yes, I know, I said the T word. Behind that is the Blackstaff Tower. One of the most known and recognised magical institutions in the city.
Is there a current person holding the title of Blackstaff, or is it abandoned?
There is a current title. I cannot pronounce her name, but there is a current title.
All I was wondering is there or not? Okay,
No.
got it.
Kelvin is long
Think
gone,
it's
but there is.
Vaja?
Yes,
Vaja.
I knew Kelvin was gone.
That's right, Vaja. So I can bring a picture up of Vaja. No, I can't. Nope, can't find it. Well, it should have just been in the named NPCs. Damn. I don't know. Yeah. No, damn. There are pictures of the Black Staff because in some versions of this she's very prominent in the game as a contact, but not in this version at least. So are you heading to the Font of Knowledge, or?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the Font of Knowledge is our first destination.
Okay. So again, you're actually not too far away. You're up here at the intersection of Holtover and Sutherland Lane, and the Font of Knowledge is pretty much behind the Halls of Justice, near the market. The streets are fairly clear this time of the afternoon. It's about midday, and there's nothing that actually happens on the way. The Font of Knowledge itself looks as a library, a large library. You're welcomed in by the clergy of Ogma and asks if they can be of any assistance. Well, in your...
I think so. We're looking for something very specific. What would make a guy act all weird?
Some of you notice that there's a subtle smelling. It's like possibly alcohol. Before.
I interject. Where is your section for parasites and or other creatures that could affect the body and or mind against their will?
Are we looking for a natural or supernatural? Monstrous.
I will start with the natural. You guys can go ahead over to the supernatural section.
I bet you it's a supernatural.
That's why we'll hit both at the same time.
He's got a magic sword.
Or there's also arcane, if you're talking about magical.
Yeah.
Cool. There's three people we can all go in those directions.
Arcane.
I'll look at the supernatural. I'll go for the supernatural.
Supernatural. And then we have Dandelion for the natural. And Bella is on her way home with her ill-gotten gains.
They were ill-gotten.
I wonder if you're going to have an encounter with some bandits.
If so, they will be ex-bandits.
Or which bandits? Because
that's the wrong party member to try to rob.
I thought it's more the ankles, but okay.
She can jump real high.
I'll bite them on the ankles.
Speaking of, so what we need is a. I really want to ask this. Can I get a library use check? No one's played Call of Cthulhu for a while. Oh well. Insight or like a
investigation.
Investigation,
perhaps?
yeah.
And I'm hoping I get lucky.
With your, yep. Wow.
Wow.
That's one.
Look at those.
That's
We're gonna
two.
find everything.
Waiting on the last. Oh my god.
Yes!
Okay. Okay. So
You can just hand the book over. We'll take that.
So we'll start with Lucky. So we'll start in order of the roll. So Lucky, you find that a book on magic, and you're saying magical weapons and things like that, and you actually found a book on sentient magical weapons, and it talks about having those weapons have the ability to control or manipulate the wielder of that weapon for good or ill, and that the weapon has its own aims and goals in life or unlife, and
or anything specifically on the Azure Blade.
So it wants to it can control the people, usually it aligns themselves with something of their own thoughts, their own ideas. But if it doesn't, it can generally either manipulate or control forcibly the person wielding it.
Now, again, is there anything on the Azure Blade in specific? Because
On the Azure Blade specifically?
a legendary blade, it might have some kind of research on it.
Well, with a 27, I will yes. The Azure Blade, I'll have to give you a handout of the Azure Blade, essentially, if I can find it, because it is one of those it does mention, and it's believed abilities. Just making sure everything's on there. Yep. It's actually legend. When it talks about the Azure Blade, it always talks about it as a part of Waterdeep itself too. I'll draw it show to everybody. So, falls by the Archwizard, Algaron. No, I can't pronounce his last name.
Agaron?
Yes,
Agaron.
that sounds a bit better. Why do they have to have big names? They're all, and you do
because if you're an arc wizard, you don't want to be using Bob.
Bob. I want an Archwizard Bob.
The arch wizard Bob.
Want an
Doesn't
Archwizard
sound
Bob.
impressive.
Yeah. And it's current, so it doesn't say it's. Well, it does say that it's the owner is Maloon, War Dragon. He brought it out of Undermountain several years ago. Plus, and doesn't say the +3 to attack, but a stronger attack and damage than normal. It can defend or it can shield its wearer, and essentially it's better against undead or erupts in blue flames, etc. Can hurl it and it comes back, which, by the way, could have been fun when you were running out.
I found the part that I'm interested in.
Personality?
This part. This one.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, you potentially have a better idea of what the blade itself is, but they do talk about blades being the ability to manipulate people.
Okay. Once I find out all this information, then I will go. I assume this is a long time later. I will go seek the other two.
Okay. And we'll go to the second roller, which is Cassell, with you're on to the monstrous and supernatural.
Yes.
So quite a few suspects come up with this, and they all seem to be in the same book, which is Volo Gillen's Guide to Monsters. So the ones that come up on top are vampires, ghosts, I think intellect devourers, and I can't think of many others offhand. If anyone else can think of others offhand, I'm open to ideas, but I think that's most of them.
Aboleths.
Aboleths, yeah.
Succubi.
Oh, true, yeah. And you also know charm, so with Treant, charm person and things like that, and dominate, strong spells of the same thing. There's also some information you came up with too.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're the prominent ones that come to mind with the ghosts, vampires, and intellect devourers. In intellect devourers, it does say that so the vampires, like, I can give you the info sheets on them if you'd like, or yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have them within arm's reach, so.
Yeah. It's not like you have the details of Azure Edge.
Yeah.
As for the natural world, From my background in D&D, I can't think of anything that does that. So I don't think there'll be anything, even with a 27 insight or research check.
Well, I know of a few things. It's not in D&D, but in real world stuff.
Okay.
There are things that can do that, but nothing that like it's affected humans. But like, there are worms that'll go in crickets and send them off to places. So I just know the knowledge that I already know.
Okay. But nothing generally in D&D terms of, yeah. Okay. So it was just like, I didn't even know if there is anything. It's like, nothing in the Monsters Manual that I know of. But yeah, that's the information. Yeah. So possibly a magic sword or spells, and possibly one of a few different creatures.
The only animal I can think of that can control the mind is the Hypnotoad. Anyone who watches Futurama.
Yeah. Oh boy. So that's the information you've got. Where are you going to take it now?
I run with the book with the Azure Blade stuff right to Castle, because he's the one. Castle! Castle! Castle!
Yes, Lucky.
Castle!
You get some of the
Yes,
going.
I'm. Yes, Lucky, I'm here. I'm here, Lucky.
I found something.
What'd you find?
I think I know what we need to do. His axe is smart, like you, and it's super by the rules, like you, and it likes people who follow the rules, like you, and it understands telepathy, like you can do. So instead of trying to communicate with his mind, what about trying to communicate with the axe? And it might be able to tell you what's going on, because it will like you because you're a square.
What a beautiful, long-winded insult.
Thank you, Lucky. That's not a bad idea.
A good square.
Uh-huh.
Squares are good. They're like,
No, I get what you're saying, Lucky. Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, if assuming, I'd be willing to give it a shot.
The axe is very, very powerful. I think it might be able to help us.
It'd be a good source of information at the very least.
It's probably fighting for his mind right now.
So you're saying we should get over there quickly?
I don't know. Let's see what Dandelion found out.
All right.
I pop out of a pile of books. I found out stuff I already know about the natural world. But aside from that, what you found sounds far more interesting.
You should probably put those books back before we go.
I put them back over me, and then I time out and walk over.
Lucky takes the page.
I don't have mending.
I look around for any librarians.
There's two that were previously just going shh, and then now just looking at Lucky and going.
He did it. I push him and run. I'm outside.
Don't worry. We're using it for an adventure.
What did you just do?
And I run out.
Oh boy. So Font of Knowledge is now off the not going back to. One does chase and trips over some books and doesn't catch, but so you're jumping off the steps and running out of the Font of Knowledge, out of essentially the city's biggest library. So if you never need to do research again, you guys are screwed.
I'll just cast Mask of Many Faces and walk in as Bob the Archmage.
And I think they'll mistake me for somebody else as well. For a very similar reason.
So you have a page on the Azure Edge and whatnot.
I will inform the party of what I found as well. Vampires, ghosts, certain creatures can possess other creatures.
We should go get Bella.
Yeah, probably. Maybe she'll want to,
Not still.
Ply her trade in the tavern.
Yeah, because I hadn't had a chance yet.
Yeah.
As you're going towards Trollskull Alley, you see some of the guards and some of the mercenaries from the tavern that you were in previously. They're walking around in a big group, and they're actually speaking to a group of the guard, and the guard are talking to them. They're going over papers and things like that, and it just seems to be like someone look at you and they just they don't say anything, and they look like this is just something we do, or we get asked all the time when we're walking around in armor and weapons. But everything else, there's nothing else that happens during the time. We'll do a check for Northward. No, I don't like that one, so I just ignore it. And Bella, what were you doing back at home all this time?
I'm hiding the money I got, like in that little tower up on the top that me and Lucky had investigated way back when.
So you're actually hiding your ill-gotten loot. Yay, that's a great idea.
Bella learned some lessons.
Not much of them, but some.
She's smart. Almost as smart as Castle. Not quite. Castle's a genius.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yep. So, yep, everyone can reunite easily without any incident, and you can head back out if you would like, and move across.
So we'll make sure to catch Bella up on Azure Blade. Let her know that it's intelligent and that we might be able to communicate with it, and that it might be able to help us get control of this guy, and then we'll tell her on the way.
Yeah,
I
I wanted to check on our barman, Bob. I was worried he was getting lonely.
I also silently ask her what she scored.
49 gold.
Ooh, nice.
When
It's in the tower.
When you call the barman Bob, a glass shatters.
Okay. Fine, not a Bob then.
You have glass on the floor, I state. And then I ask, so what is our plan with the Maloon person?
I think we got to try to contact the Blade. Maybe we can do it without him noticing. And then we could talk to it. And it can talk telepathy. And I know all about telepathy. I can do it. And then you hear in your mind, see?
Oh, you can. I immediately write this down and then put it in my notes.
I cast message.
Interesting.
I could do it too.
We can all do it. Can't you do it?
No, I cannot. This is most intriguing.
Must be a halfling trait.
It must be.
A secret
I look
for
over
the
at
half-
Castle.
As it happens in this case, it is. Anyway, he's like, and so I think we'll talk to the Blade and see if it knows what's going on, and if it does, see what it thinks we could do, because it's smart. It's like Castle, except maybe a little more animated.
Well, then this looks like you guys will be of the most use here. I shall stay in the back and maybe attempt to apprehend him if he does try to attack you. I will improvise.
Okay, we don't know. What can you do?
Can
I
I
turn into
go up
animals, I
to?
can talk to animals. Mostly what I can do is animal related. This guy's not an
Okay.
animal, and also swords aren't animals, so I'm pretty useless here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up to Dandelion and kind of poke him. Like,
I poke back. Is this a game? Are we playing a game? I love games.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, you're kind of squishy. I mean, like Castle.
Yes, I am
Hey.
squishy.
Come on! No one's as
We are all
squishy as
very
Castle.
I'm not squishy.
And then I start to state
Tell
down
the
all
beholder.
the organic components of us. Yes,
I'm
we are all
just gonna
quite
go up to
squishy.
Castle.
I remember lifting you out of the sewer water. You were very squishy.
You know, maybe when I was soaked in, manure and other bodily fluids, I felt squishy, but I assure you, I'm not that squishy.
Yeah, when you were soaked in manure, you were very squishy.
Maybe it's some manure you're thinking of.
Hard to tell. It was one kind of mixed into the other.
All right, enough of this. I walk out the door. There's work to be done. Dang it.
This is a weird group. Very weird.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Nick?
I follow after. It's like, yes, we do have work to do.
Yes. Yay,
We
adventure!
are in fact squishy as well. I yell at the castle. Like we do not have other animal components where they are on the outside. Their bones are on the outside. It's called a carapace. And then it just like fades out as we continue to walk.
Yeah, no, I've multiple things to do, and arguments about whether I am squishy have no bearing on what we need to do.
If you're lucky, it doesn't matter if you're squishy.
Again, poor Castle.
I think, yeah, Castle's got another annoyance in his life. Yep.
He's like, oh, great, 3 children.
Well, I mean, it's more like 2 children and a teenager. I don't think another human that tall would be classified as a child.
Yeah. So you go through the town, and you're back outside the tavern. The doors are closed. The windows are closed. It doesn't look like there's any activity.
Maybe he's gone home. We might need to come back tomorrow.
Did they lock him inside? Are there like any cracks that I can see through?
Do a stealth check to try to find some sneaky way of looking in.
Poke through with your dark vision.
Um,
I just smack my mask against the wooden planks. I don't see anything.
well, you make a little bit of an opening. It's more just the idea of where to look for than anything else. Well, it's not going to be a harder check than what you rolled anyway. 8's enough. And you look inside a darkened room where there again still is Maloon with a plate and a drink with the same amount of drink in it and the same amount of food on the plate. And Azure
Wait.
is still stuck in the table.
I think I
Bella?
see something moving. You might still be in here.
How did you
Yeah,
get
Lucky?
out?
Oh, I went through a window in the back and like in the kitchen area.
Maybe we should go in
Staff
through that
area.
window.
I don't
What do you think?
I don't think Castle and Dandelion might not be able to fit.
I will fit. I don't know about Castle though.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dandelion can turn into animals.
that's true.
As I demonstrate by
Castle?
turning into a squirrel and running around back.
Oh, my squirrel! Squirrel! Come here! Puppy! Puppy's a squirrel! I chase.
Oh boy.
Can you
that
do
shit
that,
is-
Castle?
No, I cannot. Have you seen me do it before? Did I
mean-
somehow magically obtain the ability to turn into a squirrel?
I mean, I don't know. You might not have told us.
It's possible.
Whatever. Castle is so done right now.
Yeah.
There's work to be done, and we're arguing about squirrels.
Yep. So in the back, you can see that there's a window that's clearly now been broken. It's much larger than what the opening of what Bella did to get out, but it's still going to be a tight fit for anyone bigger than a halfling. And it's dark inside, or darkish. There's some light going in.
I could get a light.
Dandelion is the first one there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll climb through the window as my squirrely form.
Yep.
And then I don't know how the
You
room
smell
looks like, but I'll
food all
peek
around
around.
you.
Oh gosh. I resist the urge. I am not entirely a squirrel, but I do have those weird urges. And then I'll go like peek around the
nuts.
corner, put my little paws on top of the doorway, like look at the guy.
You see
there
the
was a-
silhouette of someone, a large human, sitting at a table, and there's an axe sitting on, like the silhouette of an axe on the table.
There was like a back entrance door, right?
There is a back entrance door which is very close to him.
Okay. I'm gonna go squirrely my way over towards it as quickly as possible.
It looks at you as soon as you enter. The silhouette. You feel its gaze. You don't see its eyes, but you just feel its gaze turn to you as soon as you enter the room.
like do that weird inch thing and just like continue my inch way over and they'll bolt towards it.
It stands up as you start
Oh,
inching.
God.
Reaches over to the table, to the drill edge.
All right, so he's blocking the way. I'll turn back around.
Let's
And
go
run
with
back
your
in
edge.
towards the.
Sits down, still looking though at your side. He as you look back through the door frame, he picks up. You can see that just this mostly just silhouette and shadows. You see the arm go out, pick up a drink, tip it up, and put it down. Not actually going near its mouth, but again as an automation.
Could I try going the towards the front entrance of it? Does he react when I go that direction?
As soon as you enter the room, it's still looking at you,
Okay.
like it's looking at.
But
the
I'm basically
doorway.
just testing, basically testing his threshold of whether or not he's going to stand up and come
As
towards
soon as
me.
you start moving into the room, it stands. Like
Okay, alright.
the shapes start moving to a standing. You can see yeah.
All right, all right. Then I go back and it's like, okay, I found out where his radius of activation is. I turn back.
Time up to Fluffy Squirrel.
I wave my little tiny squirrel paw, and then I motion with
I'll
my
crawl
little
in.
paws to come in.
Yeah, this is the staff area, right? That I'm going
Yeah,
into.
it's essentially the back of the kitchen and the pantry.
Okay, I think we should be quiet.
I can't hear that, but yes.
I think we should be quiet.
You hear a yes, very quiet from the doorway to the kitchen.
See, that's just weird.
I look over to the doorway of the kitchen. What's there?
There's a large, shadowed man standing in the doorway with an axe.
I jump onto Lucky's shoulder and clean my paws. I'm like, oh god,
I like
we're going
cover
to
it up.
die.
Ah! It's gonna be okay. I think.
Well, what are you doing?
I am immediately going to try to use my action to telepathy the axe, going, please help us, please.
Okay, so this is again a multiple way saving throw kind of thing. So if you, I'll allow maybe like a charisma save with like it's more like an attack or an aim for your charisma for, if that makes sense. So you're
Not
trying
really,
to telepathy.
but just tell me what I'm rolling and I'll do it.
Yeah. So telepathy. It's a more like charisma check with advantage, and that's kind of like your aim at the Azure Edge. And
Okay. Would
there's
it be
other
like a
rolls
persuasion?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if the others can interfere, or the other can interfere though. That's what it's going to try to do. You as you try to persuade, and you're trying to contact mentally, you feel another presence in your link. It like starting to come into that link and starting to try to attack it. What are you going to say? You don't think you've got much time.
Okay. I'll be like, please, we gotta try to help this guy. He's so hurt. Please don't hurt us. Help us take control.
The only reply you get quickly is, Maloon's dead, help.
Oh.
And that's
Okay.
and then suddenly it's shut off from the outside.
All right.
Um,
Okay. Do I have a chance to say something out loud, or is my turn over?
And take 5 psychic damage as there's a backlash through the connection.
Okay.
And so we're not at initiative yet. Is there anything else people are doing? Nick, Dandelion is still squirrel form on shoulder. Ursame, you're still outside. And
Yeah,
I think Cassel's just outside as well.
Yeah, I assume we can't hear anything or see anything?
You're hearing that there's something going on inside, and you heard the Maloon say, yes, be quiet, or yes, you should be quiet. And you know that he's in the room with them.
I look at Castle. Do you want me to pick the lock on the doors?
I'm like, yes. I hurry off, and I'm gonna try and get a line of sight on what's happening.
Yeah.
If you look into the window, there's a line of sight right there.
Perfect.
The back door is not right here. The back door's a little bit around the corner.
Okay, I'm gonna rush over there and start like picking the lock.
Okay. And what is Dandelion doing?
Because Dandelion can't hear what Lucky's saying to the axe. They're basically just clinging to his shoulder, like waiting for him to do something. And I can't like cast spells or anything, but I'll basically hold my action. If he goes to attack Lucky, I want to bolt at Maloon and go up his pant leg and try to give him disadvantage.
That'll be hard. I should mention that I am specifically putting my hand over top of the squirrel, so that if an attack comes at the squirrel, it would hit my hand instead. That might make it hard for you to move.
Well, I'll say that you're trying to do the help action to give a disadvantage on attacks against.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because you can do that with a familiar, kind of acting like that at the moment as a small creature for distraction. And that's where we're going to have to end it.
Oh boy!
Because, as I said, a little bit short, unfortunately. I like Maloon. Maloon's fun. Does anyone have a guess at his hit dice, as in his level?
2.
4 attacks? I really 20?
I was gonna say like 25 or something. That's my guess.
I think it can't. Okay, 3.
I've been trying to give you hints that this person's not to be dealt with in combat.
Well,
Guess what we're gonna
we
do.
have never attacked him,
Yeah.
nor threatened him.
No.
We've only begged him not to kill us and
Yeah.
offered him bacon.
Yes. Well, I should say used to be, because you have been told that he's now dead. So, yeah, a little bit of a difference. So, as I said, a little bit of short episode, I'm sorry. I've got a meeting I've got to get to. Real life gets in the way. Rarely for me. I tried not to avoid it, but in this case I had to. So I have to be a parent and be responsible, so unfortunately. Welcome, Nick. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining this. I think you've, just like everybody else, you're going to pick on Castle just like a champion.
Oh boy.
But on the upside, I think
We
you may
like
have an
Nick.
ally there, Bozo. You may have a slight ally there, Bozo. We'll do our shout outs. Bozo, you got anything you want to shout out or advertise or promote?
Oh,
No, anything you're watching
don't-
these days that you like, you think everyone else should watch?
I've been watching Critical Role, but I mean, if you're watching the stream, you probably know what Critical Role is. So
I don't watch it personally. But that's just me. I do like what they do, and they're amazing what they do. I just don't get around to watching it. But yeah, I understand they're good.
yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, and they're very amazing. So, Ursula, would you like to do your promotions and your shout outs?
I'm Ursa May. You can check out Ursa May Arts where I do drawings and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I've met a few people on the weekend for Twitch streamers, and I've passed on your details for them. So Ursa May 1 at Twitter for us to contact you. Okay. And Trent?
Hi, I'm Treant Monk. You know me for Wizard Guides mainly, but I now have a YouTube channel called Treant Monk's Temple, so go check it out.
Yep, and it's even got highlights or lowlights of this campaign. It's hard to say.
Highlights all the best parts.
Yeah, it's all the parts with you in it.
The
And with
best parts.
Yeah. Nick, I know I don't know much, but have you got anything you want to promote or anything yourself?
Well, I'm also an artist too, like Ursula and Peach. You can find me on Twitter at FartSmart. Currently, I am following Critical Role's Pub Draw. They're doing like this whole series where it's like teaching people how to draw, and I've been using it as like stuff to like help me improve my own drawing. So if like anyone wants to like send their like progress with following Pub Draw or want to start and like share it, that'd be really cool. You can just at me and stuff, and like hashtag on the Pub Draw thing. But yeah.
That's awesome. More artists is really good. So that artwork that you sent in for your character, was that your artwork?
Yeah, that was mine. Yeah.
Okay, you
That was
could have
stuff
just
I had
told
for
me
my
that.
character. No, yeah, I did. But I was really happy that like Peach did like my art for me because it looks freaking adorable. She was like doing the whole process with me, and I was like, all these masks look so amazing. I don't know what to choose.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The reason why is because continuity across the board for all the pictures, all the images, and Peach and I are slowly working on a merch store. So if it's your artwork or if it's someone else's commissioned artwork, I've got no way of doing anything merch-wise with it. I mean, in the other channel stuff, the stuff which Peach draws, I've got on my sim racing cars and stuff like that to promote this channel in other games and other channels, kind of thing. So it's promotional stuff for the most part. Just like there you go. promotional stuff. And actually, no, I'm even wearing the shirt too. It's not for sale yet, but we're working on that side of things. But yeah, so check out. I think I might have to check that out myself and have a look into it. Because I love artists. I love the creativeness and the weird thinking and the amazing abilities of everybody. So a shout out to Syrinscape for our audio. I was a little bit off this week with the audio. At least it shouldn't be echoing like last. I'm sorry, that was horrible. Thank you for all those people on YouTube that watched and sat through and watched the YouTube episode, even though I was echoing. Syrinscape does amazing stuff, and they're really, really responsive to feedback. I'm really impressed with what they do and how good they do at it. Yeah, so check out the other stuff on the channel. Check out YouTube. Don't just follow us here, but actually follow us on YouTube. We're trying to get the subscription up so we can start monetizing. We're not like Trent who can get like the thousands of subs in a month or something. It's like, oh my god, but you have such a following. It's amazing. When you mentioned this channel on your channel, I instantly had like my YouTube just insanely blew up, and I didn't know where it was from or why. It was weird. But I think that's everything.
My following is amazing. I have an amazing following.
Yes, you really, really do, and the work you put in as well, your guides, your how-tos. I mean, it's all just your opinion, but like the thought process is very much. The arguments you put forward are very, very, very well done, well thought through.
Thank you. I like D&D.
Yeah. So I think that's about it for the week. So have fun, everybody. I think that's about all the shout outs we can do. We do have our credits roll, so don't just switch off. Please watch through this credit roll because it's actually got all the stuff we use, what we're doing, and why, like pretty much why we're doing the credits to the artists and everything else. Please, as I said, don't just switch off because it's a credit roll. And we're gonna go out with. I think we'll have the Bow and Brawl again. Because I liked the Bow and Brawl. Because that could have been so much worse. So tavern. There you go. All I have to do is type in tavern, Bow and Brawl. There we go. On for young and old. And bye everybody.